The country's fastest growing city is worried about its slowing traffic. Motorists say the makeover of a main street in Hamilton Central has made the traffic situation worse than Auckland. Wowza. I've lived here a long time. You've got to do a lot to beat this place. About 18 months ago, local council replaced a bus shelter with an in-lane bus stops and built a separated cycleway and a raised pedestrian crossing on Pembroke Street. This is one of the main routes to Waikato Hospital, the airport and State Highway 1. Those that drive that way every day say the traffic is worse during peak hours, of course, lamenting now that the buses stop in the middle of the street, holding up traffic. Mark Donovan, a former city councillor who opposed the council's proposal in the built and to build the in-lane bus stops, said the slowdown of traffic was an outcome of not a very well thought out roading infrastructure. City Councillor Geoff Taylor went one step further and called it a stupid idea. And he joins me now. Geoff, good afternoon.
Yeah, hi Leah, how are you?
Well, Geoff, I'm good, and I'm in Auckland, and you know, if Hamilton's gotten worse than Auckland, well, you poor buggers is all I can say. Hey, look, while I haven't driven through that particular area myself, I have seen an aerial shot, and I've got to say, Geoff, it is a dog's breakfast.
It is, and it was always going to be. I think it's frustrating, but also, you know, I have to laugh. And you know what? It's not actually the only in-lane bus stop, because Anglesey Street, which is one of the main streets through the central city, has two.
Yes.
And I frequently find myself sitting behind that while a bus is idling there, not doing very much when I'm trying to get home after work. So. But yeah,
haven't you got a few coming, Geoff? Have you got like four more? Is it coming, or is that you've got quite a few that could still happen? Oh, okay.
I think we put a stop to most of that silliness. They got to a point where a group of councillors who had been voting against these throughout the whole term finally just said enough.
Yeah.
And the public was getting involved as well, and so finally the mayor and deputy mayor kind of got the picture. And so we've, although staff are still recommending a lot of this sort of stuff, most of the councillors now, they've got the picture, and so we just say no. But the Pembroke Street, I remember it well, because there was actually another two or three very close that they were suggesting as well. And and we said, look, you can see what's going to happen here. It's a very busy road, as you say, on the way to the hospital, and at peak time it's just going to get nuts.
So for those that don't know, Geoff, I mean, and I'm sure most people do, because Hamilton's not the only place that have them. So they're called these in-lane bus stops. Basically, they stop. Describe them.
Yeah.
They stop in the street, don't they?
That's right. They take up your lane. Yeah. And it's, you know, I can remember transport engineers saying, well, it's a kind of statement, you know, that it's you're really telling them, you know, that buses are important, so it was. They kept telling us it was best practice, and we were saying, well, best practice where? But you know, I think they all go to the same sort of courses, the transport staff, and anyway, look, it went in, and exactly what happened, what we predicted has happened. Yeah. And look, I wouldn't mind, you know, if we've got a majority of us on next term, removing them. There's this one that's particularly annoying, and the ones I mentioned earlier, at least one of them on Anglesey Street too. But you know what? It's not just the in-lane bus stops. It's all the raised safety platforms, or you know, the speed bumps. So it's just a scourge in Hamilton where, you know, there's a lovely sleepy roundabout sitting there, and then next minute you look and it's got 4 huge speed bumps, and they've spent $1.6 million on it. And you think to yourself, why? Yeah. So we've got those all over Hamilton now, and fortunately we've put a stop to those as well, at least the raised platforms anyway.
So, Geoff, do you think there is a group of city councillors who are ideologically driven and anti-car?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And I think the idea is that if you frustrate drivers long enough, then you know the alternatives will be more appealing. You know that you know if I mean, sometimes it feels like a punishment for car drivers.
Yeah.
But I know, and the silly thing is, I think there are good ways where you can actually combine different modes in the network. Cycles and buses. You don't actually have to have them competing for the same space all the time.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to try and squeeze cycle lanes onto busy roads. It's just crazy.
Here's the thing with the Pembroke Street one that I looked at. It looks like you step off the bus whilst holding up traffic, and then the people that are disembarking then have to cross a cycle lane, even though there's a little stops thingy for them. So now you've got cycles you got to watch for, but I mean you probably don't even have any, and then there's that to even get to the curb. So do you think cycleways should even be on busy streets?
Well, I don't. I really think. I think not. I think what you need to do is actually funnel them down quieter streets and put them on. There's plenty of room on the grass across parks. To take other routes, to take alternative routes. And there might be the odd street where you can barricade them off and stuff like that. But I think, to me, it hasn't been done. It's been done almost in a way to accentuate the clash between the modes, rather than actually saying, okay, how can we get these things to work together and get a better transport system that with options for everyone? It's almost like, well, here you go, you're just going to have to put up with it. There you go, and and
deal with that.
Deal with it, and as I think I said in the article, we've got tradies buzzing around town all day. And we've got fire engines that are having a hell of a job, especially when they're fully laden, hitting these speed bumps. And they're not appreciated, all the ambulances, on routes that they use a lot. And it always seems to be in the name of safety. Safety is what it's almost like a code word for slowing down the network. And they know that it's very hard to argue against safety. Because you're seen, you're endangering
you're
people.
seen as the bad person, exactly.
So they've sort of taken ownership.
Are you not about
word.
Safety, Geoff? Oh, okay.
And I've had that said to me in debates,
really?
around the table. When someone gets under it, you'll be, be to blame for this. And I just think it's cynical.
Yes.
And it's the thing is, it just doesn't wash with the public either. They've had a gutful of it.
Geoff, Hamilton's Mayor Paula Southgate says she acknowledges the issue and says the council has no budget to remove the existing in-lane bus stops on Pembroke Street. So, so I know you said that you'd like to remove it, but I think it costs just over $1 million to install. But you can't get rid of it, can't afford it.